coming home. It's coming home. Football's coming home. Oh, sorry, didn't see you there. Not sure if you're aware of this, but it's coming home. Oh, yeah. England finals Italy Sunday. Get in there. Anyway, I'm a little excited about that because it's coming home, baby. But in other news, today we've got a few news stories in the world of tech and PC gaming. First up, we'll be talking about the AMD 6600 XT, which has been leaked and rumored, and apparently it's going to be coming in August. Also, Red Dead Redemption 2 got an official release date for its DLSS update. Cyberpunk 2077 had a leaked advertisement for a huge update that's coming soon, and DICE LA is no more, sort of. I mean, they kind of are, but they're also not. So, let's get fired into the news. But first, today's video is brought to you by MMORC.com, where you could save money on games for all of your favorite platforms, as well as software like Windows 10 Pro, which you can get for just $15, as well as Office 2019 Pro and Office 365. And if you act right now, you can get an additional 27% off with my code JOK27 at checkout, and that'll knock the price down on Windows 10 Pro from $15.29 all the way down to $11.16. And of course, they accept a wide variety of payment from PayPal to credit cards to Bitcoin. So be sure to act now and hit up the links down in the description below. So first up, let's talk about the RX 6600 XT, a graphics card everyone assumed would come eventually, and now according to the leaks and rumors from Cortex as well as the Moore's Law's Dead YouTube channels, it looks like we'll be getting the 6600 XT in August. These are the details that we have so far over on videocards.com. As you can see, it came from YouTuber Cortex as well as Moore's Law's Dead, who were quoting a leaker by the name of Kepler. Interesting choice of name. Radeon 6600 XT, they say it's launching in August. It's going to perform around a 5700 XT, which makes sense, which is also comparable to an NVIDIA 1080 Ti in terms of performance, plus or minus about 5%. So, yeah, it's about what you'd expect the 6600 XT to be. 32 megabytes of Infinity Cache. Will not be available on AMD.com. Add-in board partner cards only, 8 gigabytes of GDDR6, and MSRP of $399 ? I'm assuming that was a guess, but that sounds about right where they would launch this card. This is just a placeholder right here, the image of the card, because they're very likely, as they even mention in the Video Cards article, there very likely will not be a reference model from AMD for this card. They usually don't do it for cards that low in the stack. Usually those will be add-in board exclusively. So if all this comes to be true, 6600 XT in August, great. $400, a little on the high side, but you know, who knows if they'll even be able to find them at that price anyway. That is the world right now. But I heard, you know, graphics card prices are meant to be getting better soon. I saw some news articles in the past couple days that over in Europe, in Germany, to be more specific, that cards were selling at MSRP or pretty close to MSRP. The closest it's been since they came out, really. It's still above that, but it's come down considerably to, you know, I mean, just a few weeks ago, I saw cards on eBay going for almost 3 times MSRP, which is absolutely insane. So it seems like in some areas, prices are maybe starting to stabilize a little bit, which is great, because if a new card comes out, it'd be nice if people could actually buy the thing. Next up, Red Dead Redemption 2. This is something you don't need to buy, well, unless you don't own Red Dead Redemption 2, and as long as you got a graphics card that supports DLSS, which cannot be found anywhere. Sad face. But yeah, the Red Dead Redemption 2, during Computex, I believe it was, NVIDIA announced that Red Dead Redemption 2, along with a bunch of other games, would be getting DLSS updates throughout the year, and Red Dead is probably one of the ones at the top of a lot of people's list as a game that they would like to see get DLSS support, because it is an absolutely brutal game to run, even on really high-end hardware and tweaking the options and stuff like that. It's a very, very intense game to run, so it kind of needs that DLSS. And now we know that it is going to be coming on July 13th, so that is next Tuesday. Looks like we'll be getting the update for Red Dead Redemption 2 with DLSS. Very nice. NVIDIA quoting them directly, they said, with the July 13 update, Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online for PC will bring NVIDIA DLSS support to all Windows users with eligible NVIDIA graphics cards. So basically RTX 2060 and up. The new feature allows you to enjoy improved frame rates and creates spectacular, sharp images. So there you go. DLSS coming to Red Dead Redemption 2. Probably try it out and test it for a video, but outside of that, I probably won't use it too much, as I've already beat the game almost 3 times. console, PC almost twice. So yeah, probably not much reason for me to really be over the moon about this, but it's great that they're adding it in because I'm sure some people out there still haven't played Red Dead 2 because maybe they had performance issues or whatever. But if they did, they probably don't own an RTX graphics card. So I don't know. It's good though. More frames. Can't complain about frames. Cyberpunk 2077, another game that could sure use some fucking frames. Jesus Christ, that game was a pile of shit. Sorry. Getting off track. I still have not played through Cyberpunk. I started it when it first came out, but it had so many bugs, so many issues, so many performance problems. I wanted to wait to get a better card. I had a 2080 Ti, or a 3080 at the time, I think, when it came out. And now I've got a 3080 Ti, the game still runs like ass. So, and that's using like DLSS, turning ray tracing off. The game still doesn't run that great, and it's still really buggy. So hopefully this update does a lot. But this was actually leaked over on, I believe it was on Instagram and on YouTube. Yeah, Instagram and YouTube before it was pulled down. But this was not supposed to go up yet. And you can see here in this clip here from this, looks like it was recorded on a cell phone. There's no sound or anything in the recording. But it's just a really short little brief trailer saying that there's basically a big update, the biggest update yet to Cyberpunk 2077. It says right there at the beginning, the biggest update yet. And then it also says that more is coming soon. And there's more to come. So it sounds like very soon we'll be getting the biggest update yet for Cyberpunk 2077. And then there's more to come. It kind of, I mean, we've seen the roadmap for this game, so we kind of know where the direction that this is going. And it seems like they've gotten to a point now where they're happy enough with the performance. I saw an article about that yesterday where they were saying they were happy with the performance of the game. No idea how. They must have RTX 4090s or something. But they're happy with the way the game is performing now. I wasn't sure if they meant on PC or on console. I know that it recently was relaunched on the PlayStation Store. But yeah, according to I lost my train of thought there, but according to the roadmap, we know that, they've basically gotten to a point now where probably with this patch is that the game has gotten to a point where they consider it to be good enough. And then they're going to be working on free DLC content, which is supposed to be coming for the game by the end of this year and probably in 2022 as well. If they can hit that target, I would be surprised, honestly. If they were to get any DLC out by the end of the year, I'd be very impressed with that. But I'm not really holding my breath, and I also don't really care that much because the game came out in such a bad state, put such a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not sure if I'll ever honestly play this game. Maybe someday. Maybe on like an RTX 5090 or something. When I can actually play this game and enjoy it and forget about the bad taste that was put in my mouth by CD Projekt Red just lying to our faces. Next up, and last but certainly not least, DICE LA. As I said at the beginning, they are no more, which is technically true, as they are no longer DICE LA. They have renamed themselves to Ripple Effect Studios because there is a ripple effect when you are a studio that works underneath Electronic Arts, and it's usually that your studio fucking dies, like Visceral. So yeah, DICE LA changed their name to Ripple Effect Studios, and they're currently working on Battlefield 2042 because, of course, they are, as I said, that's what EA does. They have a ripple effect where they fucking ruin studios. DICE LA used to work on some pretty great games. The Medal of Honor games going way back, like into like Frontline, Rising Sun, and then the revamped ones back in like 2010 and 2012. They worked on those games. At the time, they weren't called DICE LA. Before that, they were like Electronic Arts Los Angeles, and then they were, I think it was Danger Close, and then it was DICE LA. I might be wrong about Danger Close, but I'm pretty sure. But basically, it's just the same studio. It's been evolving over time and changing their name, and it's pretty much just the same thing, and it's still, it's a shell of what it used to be years ago because, they came out with the Medal of Honor games around 2010, 2012, the two of those games, and obviously EA didn't see the returns that they wanted on those. So since then, DICE LA has done nothing but work on patches and DLC and maps and stuff for Battlefield games and Star Wars Battlefront because that is what EA does. They bring on studios, they give them a shot. If they could bang out a AAA game that can become a live service and make them hundreds of millions of dollars over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, then EA will, let you to continue to exist. But as soon as you ceased to do that for Electronic Arts, you get shifted off to the side and you start working on DLC for Battlefield. And that's basically what they do. Since the Medal of Honor games, or the second one, Warfighter, came out, I think it was 2012, that's all they've done, is worked on DLC for DICE, for Battlefield games, basically, and Battlefront. But they are quoted here from Ripple Effect Studios. They said, at Ripple Effect Studios, innovation and quality are at the forefront of every project, as even the smallest idea can change the world. This is the defining characteristic, behind the studio's new name. We're so proud of our work as DICE LA, and the DICE team will forever be a part of our DNA, but over the past 8 years, we've developed our own culture and our own way of doing things, and we're excited to look towards the future, expand the team, and establish our own identity. They also mention in here that they are beginning development on a yet-to-be-announced project. So it sounds like, it kind of sounds like EA, basically, they had DICE LA, who had, I guess, a bad reputation, a little bit, for a couple of stinkers or games that really didn't hit the mark. So I feel like they're just kind of shifting the name so that that name is no longer attached to whatever this new project is, which hopefully ends up being great. But if EA is behind it, I don't really have a whole lot of confidence in that, because whatever it is, they're probably going to try to make it into a live service, and it's probably not going to be amazing unless they go back on that, which would be nice to see. But that is all I've got for you guys today in the news for tech and PC gaming. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I've got a haircut appointment in about an hour, so I'm going to be looking fly AF. And I'll catch you guys next time. Hope you all have a fantastic day, great weekend. Go England. And who you got for the fight Saturday night? Let me know. Poirier, McGregor, number 3. Third time these guys are fighting. McGregor won the first. Poirier won the second one, which was fairly recently. That one really, it did surprise me, because I still consider Conor McGregor to be, career-wise, a better fighter than Poirier. He's gotten a little older, and I feel like McGregor got really, really distracted over the last few years, because he got into the whole thing with Floyd Mayweather, and they had their fight and all that and everything. He's trying to make money, I get it. But he is no longer at the top of the game when it comes to MMA fighters in his weight class. McGregor just isn't. He was, for a period of time, probably pound for pound best fighter in the world. But yeah, at this point, there's really no other term for it than washed up. He's kind of washed up. He should probably retire. He probably will retire after this match. He probably should have retired when he lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov. Yeah, when he lost to Khabib, who I think is currently probably the best fighter, who also, he basically retired on top of it. That guy's like, he's a fucking G. He's like, oh yeah, I'm the great. And I'm going to retire now with belt, because I'm Khabib Nurmagomedov. So, yeah, I think McGregor's a little washed up. Not trying to take anything away from him. During his career, he was a great fighter, absolutely amazing to watch. At this point, though, I don't think he really has that much left in him, to be a good competitive fighter. I kind of look at this almost like an exhibition, and he probably should retire, but he's not going to. At least not right away. Why? Because, he can continue to still make millions and millions of dollars off of MMA and boxing and fighting Jake Paul if he wants to, or Logan Paul, and, have a proper 12 Irish whiskey and all of that. So yeah, he's just making bank off of his name and fighting, and even though he's not that great anymore, people are still going to pay to watch it. And I'm not going to pay to watch it, but I'll watch it the next day. I usually watch him the day after online for free. But I'll bet on it for sure. All right, that's all, though. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and stop just talking about shit that only interests me and none of you. It's coming home. Catch you guys later. Sure.